Welcome, everyone, to Monday Morning Morons for October 16th, 2017. Before we get started, let me apologize in advance for any background noise that creeps in this week. I usually record early in the morning, so that doesn't happen, but I was helping out a friend this morning, so it was either record in the afternoon or there wouldn't be a video this week. I'll do what I can in the editing process to reduce errant noises as much as I can, but some might still creep in. I can't really do anything about that, but hopefully it's not too distracting. So this week, let's start off with something that I didn't even know was gendered. Annika Sorenstam, golf great, fights gender stereotypes in course design. I had no idea the placement of sand traps and water hazards was a gender issue. But then I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Everything is to gender ideologues. For those not into golf, like me, you may be asking, who the hell is Annika Sorenstam? Well, apparently she was one of the top female golfers in the world or something. As noted in the first paragraph, she even competed against the men once. Annika Sorenstam has never been afraid to mix it up with men. In May 2003, not content with being the best female golfer on the planet, the then 32-year-old Swede risked her reputation to take on the opposite sex at the Colonial Invitation in Fort Worth, Texas, the first woman to compete on the PGA Tour in 58 years. And how did she do? Well, she missed the cut that week, but it remains one of the highlights of her career and arguably did more to catapult her into the public consciousness than any of her 93 career victories. Right, she lost. Badly. Not so sure I'd brag about that being one of the highlights of my career, but, whatever. Anyway, Annika apparently designs golf courses now, and she's breaking all those dirty, pesky stereotypes while she's at it. Okay, so I have no idea what gendered stereotypes there even are in golf course design, but I'm sure they're going to tell me all about it. It's been tougher than I thought, Sorenstam told CNN Living Golf's Shane O'Donoghue. Being a female, when they throw my name in the ring as a designer candidate, a lot of times they say, oh, well, this course will be short and easy. Okay, so the stereotype is that female-designed courses are short and easy. Got it. So when she designs a course, what's on her mind? I think for a long time people just wanted championship courses, and to me, I think that's short-sighted. We're going to run out of land eventually. You can't build courses that are 7,600, 7,800 yards. That is not going to work. We have to find alternative ways to make this game fun. I think the game is too hard and it turns people away. It shouldn't really be a gender question. So, she makes courses with alternate tees in order to make them shorter and easier. Way to bust the hell out of that stereotype, Annika. Seriously, if you gender warriors are going to create a stereotype, you can't then claim you're breaking that stereotype by doing that stereotype. That's really not how it works. Give me the next one, Bob. Fans call for McDonald's boycott following Szechuan sauce snafu. All right. I remember this one, and my first reaction was, what a bunch of morons. McDonald's is receiving major backlash after a failed attempt at bringing back a cult favorite sauce. As previously reported, McDonald's had agreed to bring back the discontinued Szechuan sauce following pleas from Cartoon Network's adult cartoon, Rick and Morty. McDonald's announced last week that for one day only, the fast food restaurant would carry the Szechuan sauce for customers at participating locations. However, McDonald's failed to mention in any of their widespread promos that only 20 packets of the highly anticipated sauce would be available at the stores. The Huffington Post reported that some locations listed online as participating stores didn't actually have the sauce packets at all, or some had sold out before the authorized selling time. Okay, so first of all, McDonald's is persuaded by a cartoon to bring back a sauce that they no longer have. Good grief. Then they decide it's only at certain locations. Then decided those locations will only have 20 packets of the stuff, and then don't even deliver it to some of those locations. Yeah, we're dealing with true genius here. But McDonald's morons aren't the people who truly impressed me with the moron levels. No. As stupid as McDonald's was here, it gets better. Once fans realized that the sauce had been sold out after waiting in line for hours, they were outraged. So much so that police had to be called to disband an angry crowd surrounding a McDonald's in Wellington, Florida. At another McDonald's, a mob chanting, "We want sauce," formed and police had to push them back. Other locations, adults left angry and kids left crying. The disgruntled customers took to Twitter to vent their frustrations at the chain, claiming false advertising and calling for both a class action lawsuit and a boycott. The latter became a trending hashtag for the day. Hashtag boycott McDonald's. You're kidding me, right? Waiting in line for hours to get some crappy sauce that you could have bought at any grocery store. Genius. A mob so angry that they didn't get their crappy sauce that the police have to be called to disperse them. Brilliant. I can't think of anything better for the police to be doing. Not like there are criminals out there stealing, robbing, and killing or anything. Let's tie up some officers dealing with butthurt customers too stupid to go to a grocery store. A class action lawsuit. Really? We're going to sue you for not having the product we wanted? That's so going to make it into a courtroom. And finally, a boycott. Well, surely that'll work. I mean, it's not like you bozos lined up for hours to get a stinking sauce packet or anything. Clearly your will is stronger than your desire to taste some crappy sauce. This one may be up for a stupidity award this year. This is truly monumentally fucking dumb. Let's move on, Bob. Rose McGowan accuses Harvey Weinstein of rape. Ah, right. The washed-up has-been turned gender warrior to grab some attention levels another accusation against Harvey Weinstein. Now, before we go into this one, let me state unequivocally and quite clearly, I am not defending Harvey Weinstein on anything here. I do not know if he raped Rose or not. Whether he did or didn't is not what I'm arguing about here. What concerned me is this. She made the accusation via Twitter, adding her name to a growing list of women who have accused Weinstein of wrongdoings in news stories published over the past week. McGowan's posts on Thursday were directed at Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. She claimed that she told the head of Amazon Studios, Roy Price, about the incident. Okay, first of all, Twitter is not where you go to report a rape. You go to the police for that. To me, Twitter is where you go to report a rape that didn't happen in order to garner some victim cred within your gender cult. They will believe any story of victimhood without question unless you're a white male. So I'm suspicious of her claim right off. Then, you're targeting your accusation at Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon. Why? Because you claim you told Roy Price about the incident and he works for Bezos, I assume. That's great and all. I mean, following the chain of command up the company ladder until you get action is generally how sexual harassment claims tend to work. But after you told Price and he did nothing, you waited years to go over his head. Why? Sounds a bit fishy to me. If you were truly as victimized and pissed off about it as you apparently are now, then why didn't you go over Jeff's head at the time? Bit of a head scratcher to me, but still not the part of the article that prompted me to mention it. It's this last part. At Jeff Bezos, I told the head of your studio that Harvey Weinstein raped me, she wrote, using Weinstein's initials. Over and over I said it. He said it hadn't been proven. I said I was the proof. I said it. That's proof. Piss off with that garbage. Believe it or not, Rose, the rest of the sane world isn't prone to just believing any old story that comes pouring out of your mouth. Especially when another person can lose his freedom and life because of your story. We tend to take those things a little bit more seriously. This isn't TV, Rose. Viewers in the real world don't suspend our disbelief to enjoy the entertainment of your fiction. The real world requires proof of a crime before we toss people in the slammer, and I said so is not proof of anything. I wouldn't take Mother Teresa's word for it. I'm sure as shit not going to take the word of a paid liar, which is basically all an actor is. Give me evidence or piss off. Next one, Bob. Why we can and should legislate morality. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. You can't legislate morality actually means you shouldn't make laws based on your morality, but on mine instead. No. What it means is you shouldn't make laws to stop people from doing something just because you don't like it. When someone argues against abortion on demand or the legalization of marijuana, it's an oft-repeated retort from libertarians and the left, well, you can't legislate morality. Everybody nods solemnly, applauding the wisdom of the truism. Conversation stops. You're missing the point of that statement. You can legislate morality. It's done all the time. What we're saying is you shouldn't, and it doesn't really work anyway. Let's just look at the two examples you provided. Abortion was happening long before it was legal. Do you think outlawing it now will magically make it stop? No. So while you can make a law banning it, it doesn't work, so what's the point? Virtue signaling? Marijuana use is in the same boat. Still illegal in a shitload of places, and guess what? People are still smoking it. Your law hasn't stopped it, and the people who do it don't give a crap if you think it's a bad thing for them. So what exactly is the goal of such a law then? Create criminals? Fill up prisons? Make yourself feel better because you don't do the bad thing? A sense of morality is common to humanity. Yes, a sense of right and wrong is pretty common to all humans, but, and here's where we start disagreeing, exactly what is right or wrong? Whose arbitrary opinion are we all supposed to live by? Yours? Mine? John Smith down the street? I mean, as you've indicated, you think smoking dope is bad. I don't. I don't do it myself, but I don't see how anyone else doing it is a bad thing either. Smoke it till your lungs explode for all I care. That's your business. If you're not hurting me when you do it, then why should I give a shit? See the problem, Connor? We don't all agree what is or is not bad. In many cases, it's subjective, not objective. Now this article gets a bit long, so I'm not going to read you the entire thing. As usual, it's linked below if you want to read it yourself. I'm just going to skip through to the parts I wanted to comment about. Like, here's another failed example. For example, most of us agree that speeding and stabbing people are both bad things to do. So we limit how often, if at all, everyone should do them. Actually, I disagree that speeding is bad. It's illegal, yes, but bad? No. Unless, of course, you think an ambulance trying to get an injured person to the hospital quickly is bad. Stabbing isn't objectively bad either. Suppose I've been jumped in an alley by a mugger with a knife. During a struggle, I managed to stab him in the leg with his own knife. Is that a bad thing now? No. See what I mean, Connor? Circumstances and intentions matter. Not frequently arbitrary rules, as your next example kind of illustrates. We agree on the immorality of activities like murder or rape, so our disagreements over morality don't imply that legislating based on morality is futile. See the clever use of the word murder here? Murder is just a type of killing. While we generally agree that murder is bad, we do not all agree that killing is bad. Why? Because the word murder carries with it intention. You planned to and intended to kill someone. Ah, but what about war? We don't say the boys that stormed the beaches of Normandy or Tarawa are murderers, do we? No, they were soldiers and Marines doing their duty. You see, yet again, circumstances matter. What was some mutually agreed upon black and white rule is smudged into a big fat gray area. That's where most of us live, Connor, in the gray area. Very little in our world is pure black and white. So our laws and our rules and what we consider morally right or wrong reflect that. That insight, I think, leads us to the truth of truism. You can't legislate morality actually means you shouldn't make laws based on your morality, but on mine instead. That may well be what some people are thinking when they say that, but not me. I don't think we should make laws based on my subjective opinions either. My guiding principle is simple. If you're not hurting anyone, then I don't care what you do. Gay marriage? Doesn't hurt anyone, so marry away. Smoking dope? Only hurting yourself, so I don't care. Don't want to wear a seatbelt? Enjoy your trip through the windshield. I don't care. Want to stand in line for hours to get some gross sauce? Whatever, your choice, moron. Okay, Bob, let's wrap it up with some toxic masculinity. Woman who planned to eat man's heart becomes serial killer, gets 18 years in prison. A 24-year-old Washington woman who dreamed of becoming a serial killer by murdering a man she met online and eating his heart was sentenced Tuesday to 18 years in prison. Amy Caroline Brown pleaded guilty last month to attempting to kill a 29-year-old man she met on Craigslist in January after she stabbed him in the lung with a pocket knife, Q13 Fox reported. The victim told police he met Brown on Craigslist, and the two went on a date that ended up at a Seattle area motel, according to court documents obtained by Q13 Fox. The man told police Brown asked him several times if he was a serial killer. When he told her no, the 24-year-old then climbed on top of him and said, "Well, I am a serial killer," and pulled out a pocket knife, the documents said. Brown then stabbed him in the chest before he was able to break free and get out of the room, according to court records. Officers arriving at the scene found the 24-year-old running across the parking lot of the motel, at which point she asked the police, "Am I caught?" Authorities also found a note in her pocket that she intended to eat the man's heart and kill again, according to Q13 Fox. In addition to the note, police found a life-size coffin in Brown's bedroom and a journal outlining her plans to become a serial killer, including drawings for a murder shack, the Daily Herald reported. Brown also told cops of her murder plan, saying, "I decided I wanted to become a serial killer and claim my first victim. It didn't work." Oh, that poor oppressed woman. She was just trying to close the gender gap in serial killers, but the damn patriarchy wouldn't let her. Remember, folks, women are victims, men are oppressors, and feminism is just about equality. I'll see you all next time.